Protests that continue at this hour. Protesters have been in front of the state capitol and have weaved through miles of Denver streets all afternoon and into the evening, capping off a week of actual tangible change. Hundreds gathered at that state capitol to say to the state that Black Lives Matter, and tonight's focus highlighting those killed by police who haven't had the same attention as George Floyd. This group chanted the name William DuBose tonight, a 21-year-old killed in an officer-involved shooting in Denver last month. 9 News reporter Mark Salinger is live in Denver tonight with why those protesters are putting the focus on him. Mark?
Yeah, Ryan, over the last couple of days, we've seen the number of people here at these protests decline, but I want to show you right now, there's still hundreds of people in front of the state capitol, and we've seen hundreds of people marching throughout the streets of Denver all day. Now, their focus is on people like William DuBose and demanding that Denver police release more information and video from the events that led up to his death. DuBose was killed on May 1st. Police say he ran from them during a traffic stop and pulled a gun from his waistband, causing them to shoot him. Police recovered a loaded 9mm handgun. Body camera video from the incident has not been released as the district attorney investigates the incident. The DA's office tells us they are waiting on the autopsy report to move forward. From there, District Attorney Beth McCann will determine if the shooting was legally justified. DuBose's dad says he wants to see change.
I want that officer to go to jail. I want that officer to be arrested and put in jail, like anyone else that would have done that. Why are they above the law?
And back out here live, you can see there's still several hundred people. This is significantly less than the amount of people that were here marching through the streets of Denver all this afternoon. Right now, they're just really listening to music, and it's been peaceful for the majority of the day. We did see police at the very beginning of today interacting with some protesters. That was even before the protest even began. Some protesters were blocking traffic here on Lincoln, and we did see at least one person being detained by police. Ryan?
All right, Mark Salinger reporting tonight. Mark, thank you again for your work.